Well, this is annoying. My video won't work. I hate COVID. I hate this world. I have this great video right here. I'd show it to you. I'm clicking on it. I just made it. I played it. I tried it. It won't freaking work. Oh well. Here's the live video. That's not a video. It's just me. I said a bunch of nice stuff, and now it's gonna not be available ever because I don't freaking know why. Because freaking COVID. That's why. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Live Stream of Consciousness. My name is Tom. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Live Stream of Consciousness. My name is Tom Bianchi. Thank you very much for tuning in. Pamela Means was my scheduled guest tonight, but I forgot to tell her. That little email that said "cool," October 19th works, just sat in my draft box and never went out. So I was just gonna take the night off and do nothing, and then I got to talking with a wonderful lady named Danielle Moralia, and she said, "Hey, I've got nothing going on tonight, and I should talk into the mic, and I've got a brand new record, and maybe I could do your show." And I was like, I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, that sounds good. Sounds good. Maybe I'll learn something about our guest tonight. Who knows? So without further ado, get the countdown. I'm going to try this stupid video again. It's just not freaking working. God damn it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Danielle Moralia on tonight, live stream of consciousness. Are you there?
I'm here.
How's that for an intro?
Wow, that was great.
It's good, huh?
Yeah.
You didn't get to hear me go.
Oh no, I heard that. I heard
Oh, you
it.
did.
Yeah, because you're in the other room.
You don't have to tell
Sorry.
people.
Sorry.
Some folks might not know. You just let go of all the mystery. The mystery is just whoosh. There was mystery, and now there's no mystery. That's it.
So what have you been up to?
I don't know. I had this video planned, and then it would have given me a minute to wrap my brain around the first questions. And the first thing I was going to do tonight is pretend like I was do that whole Chris Farley thing, like I was nervous and I wasn't very good at this. And then I got put on the spot. I was gonna go like, hi, Danielle, welcome to the show, and so I fucked
Remember
it
when?
Remember?
Remember when we were having dinner earlier?
yeah.
That was cool.
I love your purple themed backdrop.
Do you like it?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I really do. When you bought that furniture, you had no idea that there was purple neon attached to the furniture. It was like you bought the furniture not knowing that there was purple neon in the backdrop. True story or not?
I had no idea. It was just a gift.
Yeah,
It was
a bonus. It was the COVID telling you this is the right purchase. The COVID.
Yeah. It was some kind of purple magical fairy that brought it here.
Yo, let's get right to it. Let's not mess around. Let's pretend like this is the real deal. You have a brand new record. Came out this past Thursday?
Came out Friday. Yeah.
Came out Friday. And what's it called?
It's called Bright Shining Stars.
Cool. And all right. It's named after a cover. The record is mostly covers, correct?
Yeah.
How many original songs of yours are on there?
Just 2.
2 original songs?
Yeah. Although a review today accredited Bright Shining Stars to me, which I guess I own half of it anyway.
Say again?
I guess I own half of Bright Shining Stars anyway, but they accredited it to me.
Right.
Yeah. By accident.
Trying something here in my settings. So the cover, the name of the record is Bright Shining Stars, and that's named after a song that I wrote.
Yeah, that's the title track.
What made you pick that song?
I don't know. It's just I love that song. My favorite line in that song is the line about tragedy and hard times. They'll chase us around. Sometimes this world is beautiful. Sometimes it lets you down.
Right.
And it was. I mean, so the reason I recorded that song to begin with was because our friend Isaac was doing a surprise compilation of the community of musicians recording your songs.
Mm.
And so I don't know.
Right.
I just love that song. So I picked that song and I did like kind of a folky finger picking version of it.
Mm.
And
Gorgeous
I
version.
went, thank you. And I went into the studio and I had to lie and say I was going in to make an acoustic record or just start an acoustic record.
Right.
And so I'm such a bad liar that I had to make it the truth.
So you made a record?
So that's why I made
an entire
the
record to cover a lie.
Yeah, to cover up a lie. I was like, well, now I'm going to have to make that record because that's, you know.
Hey, you and I, we are the worst people in the world, or else we might be rich and famous. Go to that gearbox underneath the screen on the platform. You know what I'm talking about? On the right,
yeah.
The circles, the one all the way on the right is like a gear circle.
Oh, like the settings. Yeah.
Click the settings.
Yep.
Go to advanced settings.
Okay.
How are the boxes checked off or not checked off?
Echo cancellation is checked. Noise suppression is checked.
Huh.
Stereo audio input is not.
Uncheck those. See what happens. They
Okay.
your laptop's doing a weird thing.
Can't hear you. Okay, hold on.
Okay, how about now?
How's that? Any better?
Talk for a minute.
Check 1 2. Hi. Hey. I'm here. Is it better?
Check the noise suppression.
Okay. Back. Here it is.
Now talk.
How's that? Talking.
Check the echo cancellation.
Okay. Check 1 2. How's that?
So now they're both checked again?
Both checked again.
That sounds so freaking weird. I don't know. Let's just go with it. You got really quiet all of a sudden. Put it back to the way it was.
Okay, it's back where it was now. Is that better?
No, like it didn't change. It's so weird. I don't
Okay.
know. I hate COVID. I hate this. It's not that I hate COVID. I don't mind.
Of course we hate COVID.
I don't mind like the
don't get
quarantining. What?
Don't get offended, COVID. That's not that we hate you.
Yeah.
Is that better?
No, it's something weird. Do me a favor. Refresh your browser and disappear for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, it's going to be worth it, folks. We're going to get this right. There's a lot to talk about. Danielle just put out a brand new record called Bright Shining Stars. It's got a ton of reviews, which I'm going to ask her about. It really has a ton of reviews, some great reviews. And like all reviews, some funny stuff too, because they got like facts slightly wrong and information slightly wrong. Okay. How about now?
Okay. How's that?
We'll go with that. Do you
want me to just plug in direct with these? Maybe that'll be better.
No, you're fine. Let's just go with what you got. Yeah,
okay.
It's working. This is what we should have done like 15 minutes ago instead of sitting fucking off in the kitchen doing nothing.
Instead of eating stuffed mushrooms in the kitchen?
Yeah, exactly.
Getting like tired.
Yeah. Instead of eating a huge dinner right before this and being like, hello, welcome. What I was getting at before is I asked about the title track, and it's kind of weird because it's I wrote it, but the songs, the covers that are on the record, are they covers you learned recently or have been doing forever, or a combination of both?
Most of them are songs I've been playing live for a long time. So my whole point was I wanted to do a record of songs that I could go in and sit down and just like basically just go in and record them live and not have any trouble doing that. Like where it just felt really good and really normal to just sit down and just play those songs totally live. So that was the idea, was for them to just sound as natural and live as possible without a whole lot of hoopla.
Right.
You know,
did you
go ahead.
Did you always think you were going to bring in like Peter Parchek to play, or was it going to be a solo record?
I knew that I would have like just a little bit of a light accompaniment. I mean, Peter and I play together a bunch, and Lawrence and I were doing a lot of duo stuff together at the time. So it made sense to have Lawrence come in and record. Like I hear that viola on the songs that he was on before. You know, like it's like part of the song. You know, at this point. So
Right.
it makes sense to have him come in and record on those. You know, so sorry, I'm just like posting this on my on my page.
You're like, yeah, hold on, I'm checking my email. Hold on a second. Checking my email.
Yeah, and Peter, actually, I knew I wanted him on You're Gonna Make Me Lonesome When You Go, because we did a version of that where we did it at one of his Bob Dylan tribute days at Atwood's, and we did a little promo video of that, and I was like, I love how this sounds with Peter on it. He just did such a great, I don't know, he just had this unique approach to the lead part on that I just knew I wanted on the recording.
Just how often does Peter play with you, as opposed to like, Peter's not a part of the Glory Junkies, but do you decide like, all right, I'm going to do a Daniel Moralia, or if COVID didn't happen, would you decide you were going to do like a Daniel Moralia gig and have Peter on it, or were you just going to, what were your plans after the record?
Oh, to do a release party?
Yeah, actually, sure, yeah.
Or I mean, yeah, it would have been. I would have just had the people who played some light accompaniment on it. I only had 3. I had Lawrence, Peter, and Richard Rosenblatt. So that I probably would have just kept it like that. Just a light crew.
Yeah. When you listen to the record, when you listen to Peter play live, when you watch him play with his projects, do you like? Because I know you give lessons, but you haven't actually taken lessons in a long time. Maybe one with like Lyle Brewer. Do you watch Peter like you're going to school?
Oh God, yeah, but it's almost like I could never play like he plays. He's just he's like, I watch him like, holy shit, that's amazing. Like I don't watch him and say I could do that like in a million years.
Yeah, but does it really rub off on you? I get that there's admiration and respect, but do you find yourself going like, oh, what did he do? Look, do that again. Like thinking, do that again. I want to hear that. What was that?
Yeah. And I actually have, he's been kind enough, like when I've gone over to rehearse with him before, he's been kind enough to like show me stuff too, and like actually give me like little mini lessons. So I've actually taken a couple of like mini lessons from Peter,
Right.
So I have definitely learned stuff from him. And he's, but honestly, like, I think what you can really learn from him too is like his approach to playing, because he's like, he never overplays, like, but he can shred like a motherfucker. He can shred like crazy if he wants to, and he will. But he builds it up. He never like will play. He's so good to play with. He doesn't just go like, let me show you everything I can do. Let me noodle all over your voice. He's just like,
right.
He like waits till the moment to really like, he could be like, he could be a speed metal player if he wanted to be. You know what I mean? He can play that fast.
Right.
So he just plays with so much finesse. He's just so good. He really is. And like, just like the most, just kind of, it's like, that's his personality too. He's just like such a gentle, nice, good person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like he'll structure a solo.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Instead of like sometimes where you're like, take a solo, and you like, give it back.
Yeah.
All right, that's
take it.
That's enough. He brings it in, peeks out, comes out. Yeah. That's the best kind of players to play with.
Yeah.
What other projects does Peter play with?
He's got his trio, Peter Project 3. He just put out his own solo record, and it's awesome. It's called Mississippi Suitcase. And
So he was nominated for a BMA, correct?
Yeah.
You gonna vote for him or yourself? Come on, tell the world. You're gonna vote for Peter Parchak
We're
for
gonna
best
fight it
blues
out.
actor.
We're gonna box.
Does he know that you actually box? I don't know.
No, I hate that whole thing. I hate it because it's like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good people in that.
Yeah,
There's like, I think everybody who's nominated is a friend. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It's all kind of stupid, you know. But it's nice, but it's kind of stupid, you know.
So you've gotten a lot of reviews on the new record. Some of them, they're all very good. Some of them are funny because.
Well, because there's been two that have mistaken my parts for Peter's parts, which is very flattering.
Right.
Like my lead part on Turtle Blues, I played lead. I played everything on Turtle Blues. I played the acoustic guitar and sang it, and then I overdubbed an electric guitar lead solo, lead part over it. And there was a review that said Peter Parchak. Oh, and then Peter Parchak comes in with a very sweet understated solo. And I was like, yeah, no, that's me playing that understated.
I wasn't trying to be understated.
I know, it's like I'm understated, not by choice. Like, but that was like, all right, well, it wasn't so bad that they were like, you know what I mean? They were like, oh, the fact that they thought that could be Peter was very flattering. And then one came out today that said something about on Meet Me in the Morning, which there is no lead guitar on that. It's just me playing slide. And it said the second guitar comes in with Peter Parchak. So they thought that was Peter Parchak as well, but they also thought it was two guitars. So that's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now you have Lawrence Scudder on the record as well. I guess my first question is, did anybody call it a violin?
So far no one has called it a violin.
Because just in case anybody out there does not know, it is not cool to call Lawrence Scudder's viola playing a violin. He's very sensitive about that.
It's a different register. The lower. Yeah, that's what I love about it. Yeah.
Did anybody? Because this was submitted to a lot of newspapers and music writers, but a lot of blues publications. Correct. A lot of people who specifically write up about the blues. So did anybody make comment of that? Because it's lead viola is not an instrument you normally hear. Yeah,
I feel like a couple of people said like that it was an unlikely, or like a rare, something about it being a unique choice, but they
What's this doing here?
What the hell is this? What's this?
Peter Parchak's viola seemed to come out of nowhere.
Yeah. What's this tiny instrument? What is that?
Danielle played an understated viola on Peter Parchak's
song. Yeah.
Bright Shining Stars that Lawrence wrote. Tell me about the intro. Tell me about the production. Like, you chose to have this intro that's music.
Mm-hmm. The instrumental?
Yeah.
That's like, I wrote that a long time ago, and it's remained an instrumental. I just was like, I don't know, sometimes I write a guitar piece and I'm like, I don't really have like that I really like. Sometimes I'll write a piece that I think is really nice, and I'll be like, I don't want to ruin this by talking over it, by singing over it. You know what I mean? Like, not that I think that I would ruin it by singing over, but like by giving it words. Like, it just didn't seem like it needed words. So I started using it as an intro to CC Rider, and that was like led into my version of CC Rider. And so I ended up making it a separate track because it's an original piece as opposed to CC Rider. So.
And we've known each other obviously a very long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we met, you were just starting to play out, just starting to gig, just starting to experience open mics and stuff like that. I know that you're not first guitar teacher, but your probably most influential guitar teacher was Jeff Bartley.
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
Jeff Bartley is a blues player.
Hmm.
Now, your love of the blues and your tribute playing to the blues, and did it come from Jeff, or did it come from being a big fan already? How much of that did Jeff introduce to you? Like when you went for lessons to Jeff, did you say, I want to learn this Robert Johnson style, Mississippi John Hurt style music? Or was it like, I need to play guitar better, Jeff? What do you got for me?
No, I mean, I came to the blues because I loved classic rock when I was in high school. At some point, I got really into classic rock, like to the point where I was like feeling like I just was born in the wrong era. It was just like I just wanted to make some deal with some magical force
Yeah, but
that I could live in
there's
that
people out
era.
there that love
And
classic rock. There's people out there that
yeah,
love classic rock, but they never go into the roots of it. Like you went into
yeah.
the roots of it, you know?
Well, because that's yeah. I don't. I mean, I would like to say that I was like I must find out, but I don't even know. It felt just natural. It was like how do you who influenced? I was like obsessed with Janis Joplin. I was like, all right, who influenced her? And it's like you read biographies about her, and it's like, oh, she was listening to Big Mama Thornton and Bessie Smith, and that's where that came from. And then you go, all right, well, you have to like give credit to who this came from. You know, the places where the music that you love came from, you have to go and respect that. And then you realize like, oh my God, this is really the real stuff right here. You know, and it's the same
Mm.
thing with, and like, it's weird, you know, Janis actually did give credit where it was due, but a lot of those, like, you know, we were just talking about this the other night, like Led Zeppelin, like, I mean, they just didn't even, like, they did Nobody's Fault But Mine and didn't even credit, Blind Willie Johnson with that song at all. Like they just put it as a page and plant tune. Granted, they changed the song completely when they did it,
Mm.
but like they just took it and just didn't even say this was influenced by. Like they didn't give credit at all. So anyway, I guess that's a whole other subject. But I
What
think
was
you have
what
to have respect for where the music comes from that you're listening to, you know, and that you're playing. So that's important to me to.
were some of the first like you know, if you're listening to Janis and
Hey, it's a family podcast. I'm interrupting. Get Danielle Mariah t-shirt. So comfortable. I got 500 compliments yesterday wearing this t-shirt. It's a great t-shirt. Stand by it.
Oh,
Love them.
oh, you got the shirt on.
Just saying, you should really support. I'm telling you, these are very comfortable t-shirts. They hang low. They fit right. They're really great. Just saying.
They're not for sale.
Love
There's
you
no
guys.
more.
See you later. Have a good one. Turn around, cut time.
wow,
That was
we
our
just got
commercial
drive-by.
break. That was the commercial break for the t-shirts that aren't for sale right now.
We just got a drive-by. We just got drive-by by Sawyer. Do you
But if you pre-ordered, you're getting one in the mail.
do you even have any to sell?
I have a few left.
You have a
I have
few.
a few. Yeah, but I'll get them up there soon.
what were we talking about?
We're talking about
Oh,
roots of music.
I was
stuff
going to
like that.
ask you, like, what were
yeah.
some of the first? So you're listening to Janis, and you're like, okay, Big Mom Thornton. What's some of the first like the actual guitar? Like I know, like you know, Zeppelin didn't
Oh.
give credit and blah blah blah. But what were some of the first like? My goodness, what's the you know like what's this you know the
okay.
traditional that you may or more specifically didn't know about? You know,
the Piggin style, like that Piedmont style, is honestly our friend Michael Troy was, you know, he played that style, that Mississippi John Hurt style. And I remember asking him, like, how did you learn how to do that? And he's the one who said, you have to learn Mississippi John Hurt. You know, so that was a big part of how I got the Stephen Grossman transcriptions of all the Mississippi John Hurt stuff and got into that. And that was either, I don't know if that was before or after I took the lessons with Jeff, but then Jeff was showing me more like, he would actually show me a lot of like Bonnie Raitt, old Bonnie Raitt stuff and a lot like Love Me Like a Man, songs like that, which is a Chris Smither song, but the version she did was like, it had more like Lightning Hawkins style riffs in it. And so he showed me that style, and he also showed me how to do that alternate pick and stuff. So it was kind of all in conjunction with each other.
Would you
Yeah.
say like what if you didn't latch onto it? Do you think you would even still be playing music? Because it took over. Like 80%
Yeah.
of the songs you write are when we first met, you had a handful of songs that you strummed, and one finger picking pattern that was not a blues thing. It was a little bit more on the folk side of things, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think I mean, I always felt like I could finger. I always felt like it just felt right to finger pick. So I probably would have done something along those lines, no matter what. But no, I mean that's definitely what, like, starting to play like that and getting my J45 was like that was it. Like I just never wanted to put that guitar down, and I just wanted to constantly be playing.
What
picking
came
that
first, the
way.
J45 or the LGO?
J45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're can you see, if I do this, can you see them? Yeah, they're right over there. They're right there. You can't really see them, but they're both right there. They're both right over there. We're talking about a couple Gibsons, and just in case anybody heard that reference just a little bit, a minute ago, Danielle was talking about John Troy, who is from
No,
Fall River.
Michael Troy.
Michael Troy, sorry. Michael Troy,
There's a John
who's from
Troy.
Fall River. Yeah, John Troy is a bass player, lives in California. Michael Troy is a wonderful singer-songwriter and a huge influence on a lot of people in the New England area, and just a really good singer-songwriter. And he passed away some years ago. There are tributes to him every single year around his birthday, and
Fall River.
he was a good dude. But he was an awesome
truly.
guitar player, an awesome singer-songwriter.
Yeah, a beautiful writer, just like so, like real. Like people kind of, you get a lot of folk songs that are sort of like people will sing about the mills or whatever that are kind of like putting it on, like he really worked, he was the real deal. Anyway. Yeah, Michael was the best and so funny. Just has the best dry sense of humor.
In your early years of playing, like, singer-songwriters have this career where, there's a time where you'll take almost any gig you can get.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually you graduate to like, okay, this is the kind of gig I'm doing for the most part. And I'm not doing this other gig anymore. The bar gig, the random party. And during those years where you did the bar gig and the random party, were you able to lean into this finger picking style stuff, or were you just like strumming and playing covers,
Oh no, I think it's like part of what made me get pretty good at it was that, like, just playing like these 3 or 4 hour gigs. I never did gigs where like people, I mean, certainly there were some people in the room who expected me to play top 40 and would yell out, Jack Johnson or whatever. But I didn't, I generally didn't, I just got very distracted.
This is from This is Facebook?
Sorry,
Which page? Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's ignore that, because I don't think most people can see that.
I don't know if we're qualified to give that kind of advice. I'm sorry. I don't. We're not laughing at.
See, the thing is, I don't think everybody can see that. I don't think everybody can see that.
Yeah.
I think it might just be.
All right.
I don't know. Let's ignore that.
Okay.
We just got Zoom bombed on Facebook.
I think Zoom bombed, or yeah.
I'm not sure where that's coming from, but that's all right.
I'm sorry. It's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But you did ask for someone to ask questions.
Yeah, I suppose I did. I did.
Should we answer them? Do you have advice?
I'm seeing some. What's weird? I'm seeing some comments that I'm not. Yeah, I'm seeing some comments on my page that aren't registering here. It's very strange. I just went to my Facebook page because I see some comments from. Well, this is very weird. I'm sorry. This like Brooke is saying some things
Oh, and it's
asking
not
some
coming up on
questions.
in
Yeah,
the
it's not
chat.
coming up
That's
on this.
weird.
It's coming up. That is really strange. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know what's going on here. Tracy is mentioning here on the Facebook page about times with Michael, and somehow I think something's gotten hacked. So let's just fucking ignore that. And if we get nice comments, we'll talk about them and we'll answer questions.
Okay.
But we totally we're fucking squirrels. I totally lost
I
train of what the fuck we were
and
doing.
Can somebody tell us what we were talking about?
Yeah, this is the comment. We might as well put it up. It's like, yeah, fucking.
I mean, but I honestly, what if he
Dude,
is serious?
it's
and
really
he really
barking up
needs
the wrong
advice?
tree tonight, huh?
Well, I mean, we've been together for 20 years, and we're married for, so we're,
Yeah.
we're not out in the field. We have no idea what it's like out there.
Yeah, I don't even know.
I don't know what it's like.
The odd thing though is this is where we've come to. This is what we've come to. This is how we communicate.
Yeah.
Some people get into weird kinky sex. We just stay in the other side of the room and do online broadcasts.
Yeah, just do I mean, this is the way to keep a marriage
This is so
together.
hot, babe. This is so hot.
This is how you keep a marriage together. You podcast together. A couple that podcasts together stays together.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
No, I mean, seriously, we are definitely the wrong people to ask about dating or anything like that, because we have not. I've never been in that. I don't even know, like, people who are in the world of like online or like I almost said Twitter dating. See, I don't even know the name.
Is that what it's called? Yeah.
What's the name of the big site, the big app that everybody uses? It's okay, Lee. It's okay.
This dude actually really seems like he's very sorry. No problem, man.
It's all
we're
right.
good. We're good.
Okay.
We're all good.
We're not making fun of you. It was just a funny out of the off subject question that we.
If you have any music.
Yeah, if you have a music related question, we really don't we honestly are not qualified at all to answer.
You know what? Maybe we can help. Yeah. Go ahead, ask a question. Michael's asking if you do any Penny Larkin songs.
I don't, but I love her. She's amazing. She's like the first bigger artist that I opened for. She's like she's just really nice and such a great guitarist. She's wonderful. I've never she experiments with a lot of different open tunings and stuff. I have a couple of open tunings I use, but she's she'll does a lot of I don't know if she does the experimental capo stuff, but she definitely does some crazy tunings, and she has a very distinct style. I love Patty Larkin. Yeah.
Is there anybody, as far as local musicians, anyone else that was just a huge influence on playing, singing, song, stage presence, stage performance approach,
I want to be Tim Guerin. When I see Tim Guerin perform, I'm like, okay, I want to be all the things that he's just his voice, his writing, his playing, everything, his demeanor, his stage demeanor. I love Tim Guerin. He's just he's got all the influences that I love too,
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. What do you miss? What do you miss about playing?
Oh God, I miss so much about playing. I miss hanging out. I miss the hang. I miss talking shit before the show.
Yeah.
In the green room, just being idiots. I miss that. Just hanging out and just I can't even explain. It just making jokes and being goofy, and I miss that. And obviously, and I miss that the live energy. There's nothing like that. It's just a whole different thing, right? You miss it. I mean.
Oh, I miss it tremendously.
You're made to be on a stage. So you were meant to be on a stage.
Yeah, and I very much miss what you mentioned, the camaraderie. I miss the shooting the shit with Tim and all all the would you call them idiosyncrasies, like all the subtle, just the subtle communication that's just you just get used to. You just from being with somebody every week, hanging out, just the wink and the nod kind of thing, like
Hmm.
where so I'm putting this show together at the local haunt, and it's about time to go on, and I look at the bar, and somehow coincidentally the bartender looks right at me right about at the right time, and she turns the music down, and we start to play, and it's like just the subtleties of spoken and unspoken communication, just the scene.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
more than anything, probably more than actually sitting there and playing music. Like I've been
Yeah.
playing music for a million years. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm not even going there to play the music anymore. I'm going there for the hang.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just like, and with the band though, also like when you have those moments of really locking in and connecting,
Yeah.
it's magical. It's like, that's something that because I played solo for so long, for the most part, like in the last 5 years or so, it's the first time that I've had like a consistent band, like that has been like, it's actually been like a band, not like me
Yeah.
with people playing with me, just like a band, so I miss that,
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, there's people asking questions. So I just popped open a Facebook page to look. For some reason,
yeah,
these are not synced right. Something weird's happening. But
yeah.
John Cleary, I don't know if he was being kidding around or not, but John Cleary asked what songs you've written about me.
What songs
which
have I written
which is
about you?
yeah.
Okay. I've written, well, geez, what did I write? What have I written about you? I mean, a lot of them are about you. What?
Let's talk about them.
Okay.
Come on, let's do
Um,
this.
All right.
What did you mean by that one lyric when you said
They're all nice ones. All right. The Wind is about you. Early
that's a song
relationship.
that I play every once in a while, and Mark Pressler requested the other night.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. That I wrote that when I was like, when we first got together, and I was feeling like I wasn't totally sure that you were gonna stay.
Yeah. Well, the next question rolled into my head already. It's like, because this way we're not talking about that lyric about blah blah. It's
Yeah.
like you've written a ton of songs about me, us, like when we were like not a solid thing or fucked up, or
Mhm.
things were different years ago.
Yeah.
And maybe a song or two, maybe one about like just, we're not the love song writing types,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And why do you think that is? Like what's what
Well, what do you mean we're not the love song writing types? I mean, I
well,
think
we haven't really done that a lot. It's like almost like to me, and I'm not shooting smoke up your ass. We do that later off camera. Yeah, like you're a songwriter that really writes like straight from the heart. Like you don't like it's like, and I'm not saying that we don't love each other, because obviously we do, but it's like it's the pain element of the heart that makes you like the love element. We just get to pour that out in daily living, and it's all good. You don't
Mhm.
need to write songs about it. It's almost like the songwriting takes over as like as a pressure valve. It's
Yeah,
like
normally it's like it's due to a longing of some kind, right? Yeah.
sure, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, I mean, that's, so you can also write about being afraid of losing that person because they had a stroke last year, which is
To my point,
yeah.
you're writing from a place of
I'm not.
pain.
This is nervous laughter. I'm not laughing that you.
Can't believe you're laughing at that. Fucked up. Totally fucked up.
I mean, I've written a bunch of songs since that. So yeah, I mean, there is some truth to the fact that there has to be some longing or some fear or something. But I also, you know, you can also write just a fun, like I wrote Better About You, which is just like, you make everything better, da, 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 da. You know,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like a little more just happy.
Yeah, you don't play that one too much.
I did too. I play that.
You must play that one every night. What? Which? And forgive me for I'm outing myself right now because I can't remember off the top of my head. But then again, I had a fucking stroke, so I can just play the card. The two songs that are on the record, are they? I know you've written 2 or 3 since I fucking got my punched in the head by health. Are either of the songs one of those songs?
Either of what songs?
What are the new songs on the record? What are they about?
Oh, none of those are on. Those aren't on there.
What are the original songs that are on your new record?
The originals that are on my record are that instrumental, and then Pick Up the Gun and Famous for Nothing, which are old. Okay. Those are like older songs. Famous for Nothing I've recorded with a band before, but never solo, never acoustic. And then the other one, Pick Up the Gun, I've just never actually done a studio recording of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But the new stuff, like, will be on the next one, and that's going to be a weepy record, probably.
So that's kind of. Sorry, I'm just texting Sawyer that our internet is crashing, and maybe he should stop playing PlayStation for like a minute or two.
Choppy, right?
This is how it is at in our house. Hey, kids, stop playing internet. If he might not even be. I don't even know.
Hey, we're trying to talk to each other through the internet right now, even though we couldn't. We could just hang out in the same room. So stop feeling joy while you play your video games, kid.
What's kind of cool about the 2 songs that you put on there is they are older songs of yours, just like the covers are older. It's almost like your own traditional.
The old song, yeah. Oh, yeah. The old songs of mine, yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like, because they're on record, it's like you're covering yourself.
Yeah, those songs that I wrote back in the early 1900s.
the late 1900s. Actually,
I love the Dead version of Pick Up the Gun. It's my favorite. The Grateful Dead version of that. Like, great.
I like the Levon Helm version better. I like the way Levon does it. It has a little swank to it, a little swelter. Oh man. Are there any blues traditionals that you wanted to get on the record that you didn't get on there? You're just like, I should have done that one. I should have done that.
No. There's nothing that I'm ready to play on a record yet. But there are some that I've been learning in the last. There are new old songs that I've been learning in the last few months since we've been, in quarantine, that I would like to probably record for another record.
Who are the artists that you're covering on the record?
So there's a Janis Joplin tune, Turtle Blues, Keb Mo, CC Rider is attributed to Ma Rainey. She's the first one to record it. It's like it's almost a traditional because it's been like recorded so many times. The version that I love the most is the Big Bill Broonzy version. And then so I kind of think of it like it's a cover of his cover of her song. It Hurts Me Too, which is also one that I learned by way of the Bill Broonzy. So I think that's a Tampa Red tune, but it also kind of Bill Broonzy is credited at times for it.
Forgive me, I'm not a blues aficionado. Bill Broonzy, what's his story?
What's his story? Well, I love Bill. I just love his play. I mean, he's like.
Well, like what years are we talking?
So the record that I love of his the most is it's Trouble in Mind. It was a Folkways recording. It's just him and a guitar, and it's just like, it's pure. I don't know. It's like you can hear the squeak of his fingers on the strings, and you can just hear every. It's like it's from like the late 50s, so it's new enough that the recording is clear and crisp, unlike a lot of old blues recordings. So you can like really hear everything, but it's so raw and just him and a guitar, and it's just a stunning recording. So just his versions of all those songs on that record are my favorites. Yeah. And then who else did I? Oh, and Tom Bianchi.
What's the oldest song that might be on the record?
God, probably Walkin' Blues. I think that's the oldest one. Yeah. What's on it? What's on the record? Yeah, I did Robert Johnson's Walkin' Blues. So I think that's the oldest one. That would be like, yeah. That I did. So there's like some contemporary artists and some older. Oh, and some Dylan. I recorded a couple of Dylan songs, both off Blood on the Tracks.
You did You're Gonna Make Me Lonesome, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the other song?
Meet Me in the Morning.
Oh. And that's a slide tune, right?
Mm-hmm. I made it. Yeah, I play it as a slide tune. It's not normally a slide tune.
Right. Sawyer's not even home, by the way. He just texted me.
Oh, he did. So it's not him?
It's not his fault the internet's crashing. Do you have any other applications open on your computer, like Word and all that shit?
I probably have all the applications open.
Well, you know what? I know we've only been doing this for 7 months.
Oh, I have like so many applications open. We're not on Zoom, right? I can quit Zoom. Okay. I don't need
anybody
iTunes
still
right
out
now,
there?
right?
Anybody still watching this? Amazing.
I can close
Glimpse into our lives. Oh, you mean I have
Microsoft
to?
Word? Do I need that?
You mean I have to make my computer not running everything at the same time?
Oh, Excel, do I need to make a spreadsheet right now about this conversation?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Well, I need Google Chrome because we're on that.
Yeah, don't close this. Don't close
Okay.
this.
Oh,
John Cleary asked if you wrote Lonesome Loser. I think he's making fun of me. Yeah, I hear you, John. I hear you. I'll get you, Cleary.
All right.
Amazing.
I think I closed all my applications. Is that better?
We'll find out. Let it settle in. What do you think what do you think the next record is? And what do you think you're gonna do? Or is that just an impossible question to ask because you're not gigging and playing right now and you're not hearing the vision, you know?
I don't know. I think like after a week, like, all right. So Saturday I'm doing a live stream from TCAN, and that'll be like sort of the virtual release party. Now Excel is opening right on my screen. Go away, Excel.
Jesus Christ. Fucking it. When did they get divorced? I don't know. That they seem to be doing fine. And they did this live stream thing. I'm not sure who beat up who, but they both look like shit after that. I love you, honey.
I love you too.
It's amazing.
What the hell was I talking about? Yeah, I'm gonna do this virtual release party on Saturday, and then after that, I'll consider that like the release, and then I'll be able to start thinking about something else. I'll be able to start writing a new record or thinking about a concept for a new record, because it'll take like a year and a half before another one actually. If you start now, it takes like a year and a half.
You think it'll be a band record though, or you're gonna go back to the?
Well,
state,
I would love to make another band record next. The problem is like that I can't see the band right now. So maybe it depends on how long this thing lasts for. You know. Maybe we should make a record.
I bet everybody on this thread right now is like, "Hey, boneheads, why don't you guys write some songs together and make a record?"
You heard it here. This is the birth of our record that we're gonna make.
We've only written one song together.
I know, and it's about drinking beer in a parking lot.
It's about drinking beer. Yeah,
it's very deep. But to be fair, I haven't really co-written much at all.
Yeah, me neither. And also, to be fair, we bounce each other's songs off of each other all the time
Yeah.
and fine tune lyrics together all the time and
Yeah.
constantly change and evolve lyrics and chord changes. Like we could probably be co-writes on a lot of songs.
Yeah.
We've radically changed each other's songs over the years here and there, where it's like, oh, what if you try this? What if you do that? Or
Mhm.
this rhyme scheme or particularly, in some pretty heavy
Yeah.
songs,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now we should
we've
just stare at each other awkwardly for the next.
well, the only difference is like if I share my advice with you, you like, huh, okay, and sometimes you change it, sometimes you don't. And if you share your advice with me, I get personally offended.
Yeah, you start going like, just like, yeah, you do. You get very offended.
Go ahead, you can help me. I opened the door.
You don't support me. You don't support anything I do. That's how you.
Yeah. I'm like, but in fairness, I'll ask you about one thing and you'll address another. You'd be like, I'm like, what do you think of this? He's like, that I don't know, but that has to go. I'm like, oh, what? What are you talking about?
That was my favorite line.
That was my favorite line. That's the name of the song. What's the name of the song? How dare you? I don't know what's going on with these comments. It's a shame because I see them coming and
Is there
going
a way
on
to
one
refresh
page.
it and try to see them on?
I don't know. I might have to stop the
in our
broadcast
chat?
and do it over. I don't know. I don't, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Is there anything anybody's saying that? Can you tell me what anybody's saying?
It's the page is acting really weird.
Is it because it knows that we're in the same house?
I don't really know. Is
it like we know what you're trying to pull?
Yeah, that might be some weird thing.
I can't even get my phone to open right now. I think are we causing an apocalypse right now?
Fuck if I know.
Are we
Something
like turning? Are we going into like a warped, like some kind of? I don't know. You watch sci-fi. I don't even have a good riff on it because I don't watch enough sci-fi.
All I can tell you, there's a lot of nice people watching. Tim Clarkin's watching, and Tom Robertson's watching. That's cool. Shit, Tom asked, how did you pick how Danielle picked the cover tunes on Bright Shining Stars? But you answered that question, right? I mean, just basically.
Yeah, pretty much. They're songs I was really comfortable playing. Like for the most part, it's just songs that I just wanted to be able to just blow through because I like. The studio, I love playing live. I love playing live. I don't necessarily love recording because it's just I don't know. It's just hard to capture like a live vibe recording. So the last 2 records I've made, I've done live. Like even the Glory Junkies record, we pretty much recorded almost the whole thing live in the studio. And I was happier with my vocals on that than I've been because it was just a live performance, What are you doing now? Are you just like answering email?
I'm actually looking at trying to find out what came from where. It's all acting weird tonight.
Yeah, it's weird. I want to see the chat.
I know. Oh well.
Oh.
I mean, we could shut it down and start it again.
I mean, I don't know.
We've already been fucking off for an hour.
Yeah.
It's like the world might be like, yeah, that's enough of you guys. We don't really need any more.
We had enough. You got
enough of you guys. I didn't prep much for this one. I thought I didn't have to, and now that I'm in it, I'm like, I should have really fucking prepped for this.
You should ask me something like so where are you from? What are your parents like? We do have another question. What is the funniest thing that happened to you in a party or concert while you sing? This is our friend Lee Chi, who asked that sincere question earlier, and I'm so sorry that we like made a big thing about it. But anyway, what's the funniest thing? All right, well, we were just talking about this recently, about the
Is that
Bachelorette
the fun?
party.
Is it the funniest or most disturbing?
Both. Often that's the same, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead.
the funniest thing I would say that ever happened at a gig. I mean, there's so many things, I guess, but we were just talking about this the other night. We were playing at the Skellig. Back when the Skellig was used to be, it's not there anymore, but it was the Burns sister pub that was in Waltham. And we played like we were covering like a night or something. We got like a last minute gig on like it was like a rare night where we played like a Saturday night there, and we threw a cover band, like we threw a band together.
They were desperate for entertainment, so we helped them out and did a gig that we would never normally do.
Yeah, just like a Saturday night, like what's normally like the big cover night there, and a bachelorette party showed up, and their theme was Madonna. They were all dressed as Madonna, and and you know, as you do, they actually were cool. They weren't like aside from this one thing that happened, they were like pretty cool. But then we ended up just doing all Madonna covers just to have fun and give them what they wanted. And but as there are at a lot of bachelorette parties, there's like dildos and stick shaped things everywhere. There's just like for some reason, I don't know why. I don't know why that's a bachelorette party thing. Like,
I don't know. It wasn't my bachelor party or your bachelorette pardy. I actually were there dildos at your bachelorette party?
Women, we don't even like dicks that much. Okay, I don't know why. I don't know why that's like the bachelorette thing. It's like just a
Doesn't say a lot for me, but go ahead.
We're not like, oh, you know what?
In fact, I've learned to hate them.
Oh, you know what I want? Okay, let's get some wallpaper with some dicks on it. You know, like we're not like it's not like a thing that we're into. You know what I mean? In that way, where we need to have things that represent them. You know what I mean? You know, they're okay when they're attached, but I don't need like a floating whatever. Anyway, that's a whole besides the point thing.
Yeah.
But so we're in the middle of a song, and one of these dildos comes flying onto the stage and like hits me while I'm playing.
Yeah, true story.
So I picked it up and I just went, and I just
story.
played the guitar with it. And all these men who were there were like, ugh, they all like winced. And then I had the moment of thought of like I should like bite the head off like the way Ozzy did that when they threw the bat on the stage. You know what I'm talking about?
Taking a bite.
Yeah, but then I remembered that the bat is being real. It's like, no, it's real. So that was, and then I get canceled. Anyway, what? What were you gonna say?
Because we can't see the comments like we're supposed to, so I'm watching them out of the corner of my eye. It's just Colin said he loves your record. You listen to the record, which is great. Anzalone asks how much. Anzalone asks how much I'm benching. I don't know, Chris. Come on over. I'll put you up and we'll do it. And I think Mom is not thrilled with the dildo.
I can only
biting.
see my mother's comments for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know what something. I wish Pizzone is watching. He's like, "What the fuck did I just walk into?" Which is understandable. Talking about the time someone threw a dildo at Danielle on the stage, and she picked it up and finished the song with it. Just strummed away. True story.
Yep.
That's a pretty memorable one. But what else? What else? You know what I love? I love the story about the CD that you sold to the fella down south.
Oh, yeah. In Travelers Rest, North Carolina or South Carolina. Travelers Rest, South Carolina. I'm sorry to call out the whole town of Travelers Rest, South Carolina. It's just where it happened to be. I was playing this nice arts festival down there. I used to tour south a lot, and it was a lightly attended little festival. It was like people were mostly mulling about, looking at different stands of art and everything. but there was like a small crowd of people who sat up front and listened. And this one guy who was like the most into it out of everybody, you know, like just like, how's everybody doing? Better now, you know, he was just really into it. So after my set, I'm like, I sold some CDs, and he brings one over to me and says, you know, do you mind signing this? And I said, sure. So I'm signing it. As I'm signing it, he says, do you believe in God? And I said, I was like, well, I'm agnostic. You know, I just said, I'm agnostic. And and he didn't say anything. He just continued to, you know, so I gave him the CD back, and he leaves. And like 10 minutes later, I'm like wrapping cables and getting ready to head out. And he's like, my friend just told me that agnostic means you don't believe in God. And I said, well, no, that's not actually what it means. Atheists don't believe in God. I actually, you know, I'm just open to I'm open to suggestions. I was like, I'm just open. I don't really know. I'm open to ideas. I don't really know if there is, you know.
Right.
He's like, oh, you're open, huh? Well, you could have that back. And he kind of like tosses the CD back at me, like, you can have this back. And it was like, I'm just like, first of all, you didn't even know, like, your friend gave you the wrong info. It doesn't even mean what you think it means.
Yeah.
And like,
That's not what the word means.
Yeah. And it was just like, okay, thanks. I'll take it back.
I get your money and
yeah, he didn't.
Did you give him his money back?
No, he was like, and I don't even want the money back. And I was like, good. I'll keep it then.
I guess agnostic means I just took your money.
Yeah, like, so you think that I'm gonna go to hell, but you still wanted it. I don't know. It's just very strange logic, but to each his own, and you know, it's whatever. But that would happen. That's, you know, not to call out the South, but that's where that would happen sometimes. Where, like, I had a woman who came over. She's like, your songs have a lot of questions in them. I could tell there's a lot of questions about whether there's a God or not. Like she was like, you know, pointing out lines in songs, and you know, she's like, and she was just like, and she was like more kind. She wasn't just like, well, you don't believe in God, so screw you. You know, she was like try to give me a pamphlet kind of thing, like just like like you should be saved because I'm hearing all these questions in your songs, you know. But
right.
Or the other thing that would happen a lot was like someone would say, where's your husband? Your husband approves of you traveling by yourself?
Because you're on tour? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, why isn't your husband with you? I don't understand. You know, and it's like, and these were women who were asking this, not even men, you know.
I remember, I don't know if I ever told you this. I remember doing a private party once. When I used to play Faneuil Hall, I used to get hired for all kinds of crazy stuff. And I did a private party. It was at a Holiday Inn in like their smallest room.
Yeah.
And there was probably 15, 20 people there. And they hired me to do like, I guess it was a surprise birthday party for this guy. And they hired me to play music. And I guess he liked me. I guess he knew me from the Subway or Faneuil Hall. And he was a fan. And this is back when I did the Street Performer theme. The goofy street parade. I played the Cheers song and Street Signs of Boston Suck and the Subway Blues and all these things. And so I opened the show, considering I'm in the middle of my Faneuil Hall phase. So goofy singer-songwriter, clown-looking suspenders guy is what I am. So I opened with the show playing the song, the Hello song, which is I think it's an Uncle Floyd song. It's not my original song. And it's just, I learned it from the movie Crazy People with Dudley Moore. And I just, hello, hello, hello. What a wonderful word. Hello. You know the song, right?
Yeah.
And I finished the song, and the woman who's his mother leans, she goes, do you say hello or do you say shalom? And everybody in the party was like, everybody, it was like deadly silent. Like, I guess they were asking me if I was Jewish or not. and I didn't know how to answer because I'm not, but I was like,
Yeah.
what? It was so like it was just like it was a movie moment. Everybody like it was dead silent. Even the caterer was like, I don't remember what I said. I was like, you can say anything you
I
want,
mean, whatever you
and the
want me to,
rest of my
whatever
set
you need me to
did
say.
not go over well. First song was great. After that, it just lost attention.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I don't know. It's religion is an interesting connection and touchy thing. You know, it's. I don't know. It's. I mean, there's so many weird, touchy things now.
Well,
With
now
religion.
I wonder,
You know.
I wonder what it would be like. Brooke wrote, "That was my bat mitzvah, Tom." And I never got hired again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I imagine touring the South now. Imagine, we're so polarized, and
I've not been back down there since for like in like 5 years. So it's I don't know. I don't know what the climate is right now or what the I mean honestly, for the most part when you go do shows like especially if you're doing house concerts and things like that, for the most part you're finding like you're basically finding your crew of you're finding the pocket of people who are into music and who are like not that people who are like super religious aren't into music, but generally there's some like-mindedness, whatever the religion, whatever even the politics are. There's usually some sense of like-mindedness amongst people who are fans of like independent music or any music really, but especially like the house concert scenes or like people who actually have musical communities within their areas. We kind of can all connect in one way or the other. So within that's different than like, that's also different. You'll find that crew when you go to do the concerts, but then there's like all the outside stuff that you're dealing with when you're traveling.
Well, yeah, just the travel and definitely. But I think we're so polarized these days. I think even at the humble house concert, you'd have that one crew or a team just
There's usually one person, like just one person, or in the past it's been like maybe one person who will be like, just not on board
it's really hard to find people these days that you don't agree with that are willing to stay civil.
Yeah.
And that's not a dig at the right either.
No, I mean, I find myself having a hard time with it. I find myself just, I will often just avoid having that conversation or just,
Victoria Vox is here. She's like, cool people, just say it. Like, when you're talking, she's like, yeah, you're often playing to crowds that are, it's like, cool people, just say it.
Cool people. Yeah, you're playing to cool people.
I wish I could see these comments in this feed so I can put them up like this.
Oh,
Normally I can.
I know. I don't understand.
I don't know. It's fucking weird. It's not working.
It's mad at us.
Hey, let's talk some old school shit. What do you remember thinking about when you played at the Harold's Renaissance Coffee and Ice Cream Shop back in 1998, whatever year it was that you played there?
What did I think?
Yeah, what do you remember from those days?
Like my very first time walking in there when you were playing.
Wow, when I was just the scene, like what do you take from it now?
That was, I mean, that was like that was one, not the first open mic I did, but that was in the very early days of me going to open mics. And I actually went there. I went there because Kevin So told me I should go there. This is like, another friend was like, oh, you got to see Kevin So, and I went to and he was like, you got to come to the brunch and see Kevin So. It was when Kevin was doing the blues brunch, right? Remember he would do that blues brunch with Eric Gerber and Jason Gardner over at the at the Kendall Cafe. He used to do a Sunday blues brunch, right?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I went there and the person I was like, the friend I was with said, introduced me to Kevin, and the Kevin was like, oh, you're doing open mics, you should go to the open mic that this guy hosts over at Harold's, because you were hosting it with Jason at the time. So I said, oh, so I went there my friend Brenda came with me, and we went, and you were playing when we walked in the room. And I remember
Really?
so clearly, yes, you were playing when we walked in the room. You were the first person I saw play at the Harold's Renaissance Cafe, because you were like starting the open mic and you were hosting, and you were playing. And I remember you played Fall Away. You played the song Fall Away, and at the end when you go, take me to the room where the reds are red, take me out of my head. I'm thinking, what I said, take me into the room where the orange is orange, if you're not from Austin, then you are.
Well, you're quoting, for anybody who doesn't know, you're quoting a Queen song that's on the album The Game. It's on the
Dragon
album
Attack.
with Another One Bites the Dust. It's called Dragon
Yeah.
Attack. Yeah, and you have told me that. I
was like, oh my
brain
God, that's
farted.
like an obscure. It was like, I can't believe he's singing this song. Like, I just like, that's an obscure reference. So I remember that was like a thing I thought. And yeah, and then I did the open mic. I don't know, I probably sang too close to the mic or some shit like you told me I did back then.
Did I mansplain?
No, you didn't tell me back then. Later, you told me that you were like, yeah, you used to scream into the mic, and it was painful. You
Like
wore
how
too
much later?
Makeup.
Like,
You wore
like
too much
a couple
makeup
years
and you
ago?
screamed into the mic. You wore too much makeup and screamed into the mic.
I did not say that.
You didn't say it like that, but you were like, you said it to me you actually, when you said it to me, you were trying to make me feel better, because I don't know, I was turning 30 or something and thought I was old, some stupid shit like that. It was some
And I told you you wore too much makeup?
No, you were like, you're so much better now. Like when you were younger, you used to, or you were awkward and you wore too much. Like, I don't know, it was nicer than the way I'm making it sound.
I'm losing all my woke support right now. It's all gone. He told his wife that she wears too much makeup and that she's awkward.
What are you, some kind of bhutan? Makeup on your face.
Hey, take that whore paint off, lady.
Still sauce on your yeah. Anyway, you're going out looking like that.
All right, so taking the conversation away from us personally, and what I'm trying to dig to is like how that was a scene back then, and it's funny. It like time has come and gone, and venues have come and gone, but scenes develop. Like, it's funny because like the Harold's had its scene, and then across the street the Kells had its scene, and then the Kendall Cafe had its scene, and it's something that's very, what was your your first impressions? Was it like I found my people, or was it like this is where I need to be successful, or like what are your first impressions of it all?
It was like, I mean, the first open mic I did was the Kendall Cafe. and I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to do this. I want to be around these people. I want to and then I started going to different open mics. I was like, I went to your open mic at Harold's. I went to the Kells when Gary Gore was hosting it.
Gary Gore.
Yeah. And Gary was like kind of crass and just like, he was like, I immediately felt comfortable because he was that way. Whereas some people might be like, oh, whatever, like, oh, he's too abrasive for me. I was just like, this is where Gary, oh, cool, this is my. Do
you remember his opening, like his introduction to the show? It's like no yelling boo unless the artist's name is Boo. Like he had this really random, like, welcome to Gary Gore open mic, and there's no booing unless, and the audience would go, the artist's name is Boo or something. He had it down. He was the best, man.
And I think he like, when you were the first, if it was your first time at the open mic, he'd be like, it's a virgin. Like he'd yell that. And like,
he would call you a virgin. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, it's funny because nowadays people be like, oh, that's offensive. Why did he, say that? And it's
Probably,
like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, cool, this guy's like, it was like,
Yes.
this is awesome. This, yeah. So like, I immediately.
You're also a heavy metal chick from Revere, so it's like,
Yeah. So.
oh, my people, my
My
people.
people. Yeah.
Hey,
I don't know. And like, I
you're a
always, and like,
virgin. Get out of my way, herpy dick.
yeah, exactly. Hang. But it
I'm gonna
was like,
bust your cherry, host. Get out of my way.
but there was also just at all of those open mics, everybody was so supportive and cool. And it was like
Yeah.
that, like that was never carried, like that kind of like energy was never carried out in a negative way or carried over to
Right,
like,
right.
oh, you
It's a
suck. It
very
was
fine.
always super supportive. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's a very fine line, but that's right. I mean, it really is true. It's like music. For the most part, there are lines that are crossed, unfortunately, all the time. But it's like, where you goof around and it may be crass, but at the same time, like Victoria said, cool people.
Yeah.
You just get it. You just certain lines you don't cross, or you know where the line is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Victoria's actually asking if you did the Club Passim open mic back in the day.
It's weird. It's funny. The Club Passim open mic was like, it was so coveted back then. It was considered this
Right.
like, it was like, oh, you have to be really good to do. It was like, it just had this rep. It had a rep about it to where I was like, and since then I, like Club Passim became a place I felt very welcome, that I wanted to be, and that I still love Club Passim. But at the time, it was like, it had such a rep for being so coveted that I was like, screw that, whatever. I just was like, I never want to be like where everybody says is the cool place to be.
Yeah,
So
sure.
it took
Like,
a while
yeah.
to even try the Club Passim open mic, because I was like, well, I don't want to wait. I don't want to be number 80 on the list.
You often didn't get a chance to play. You
Yeah,
often
it was
just didn't get a chance to
yeah,
play.
it was so popular, and it was like, and it had this reputation that like you have to be really good or else you'll get like. So it took me a while to even try it, and then once I finally did it, I was like, no, this is actually, these people are awesome. These are nice people,
Of course.
But at the time, it was like, it had that rep about it. So it took me. It never really became like my regular hang. I also liked drinking back then a lot. So and they didn't have alcohol there back then. They didn't serve alcohol at Passim in those days.
Yeah. Do you remember when and Victoria also asked about the church near Harvard Square too, which I want to get to, because I think we both played there back in the day. But actually, let's talk about that, and then I'll go on down memory lane. What was the name of the open mic at the church across the street from Harvard Square there on what is that?
The No Name or the
Church
Squawk?
Street?
There were two of them. No Name.
I remember No Name.
Yeah.
I did a feature there once. I remember that open mic. That was cool.
See, I don't know if I ever did the open mic. I think I actually like played a gig there. I played a couple like shows there, like Saturday, or maybe it was an open mic feature thing that they did.
Open mic feature. They used to do open mic features all the time.
Yeah, that was a nice one too. Like there's so many there's been so many just nice gatherings over the years, and like just, I don't know, just communities where they just like put on shows. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy when I think about how many gigs over the years.
Yeah, it's every once in a while I get reminded of one, like some specific thing, some detail in life reminds me of this one gig that I never would have had the power to recall otherwise.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That it's like another lifetime. It's like a TV show I saw once.
Totally.
And I have a vague memory of or something.
When we ride around on the motorcycle, I'll be like, oh, I played in this town before. Oh, I remember that little gig.
Exactly. Yeah, the bike is a lot like that, because we're just driving all around New England, going small town to small town, where over the years, so many little open mics are in every single town center. You go through Maynard, Wayland, Andover, Concord, Sudbury. Every single one of them has like a Unitarian church, and every single one of them has a coffee house open mic.
Yeah.
And we've done dozens and dozens of these over the years. As features, generally, we've done a lot of features, because you're pretty good, And I like to think I'm pretty good. So we get these, over the years, we
Well,
had
it's
these
like
open mic features.
you could build up to the feature too. That was the fun thing back then. You'd be like, you go a few
Right.
times and be like, oh, I got asked to do a feature.
Truth be told, you and I owe a lot. Like, we really courted. We were in a relationship. I guess we weren't recording, but we used to go like the Thursday night open mic at the Natick Center for the Performing Arts.
Yeah.
Before it went to the big fire station, when it was just that tiny
Mhm.
little rectangular room around the corner, hosted by Owen Kennedy.
Yeah.
We used to go to that thing every Thursday religiously. We went every
Yeah.
single Thursday for like a good stretch of time, probably like a year straight.
Yeah.
And that was like date night or something. Like it was like, when we were first dating and first going out, like we owe a lot to that room. We would go in and
Yeah.
play songs and
Yeah. That was a really nice crew. I remember that. Yeah, like, who used to go to that? He doesn't live here anymore, but I see him on Facebook. Hewitt Hewitt. Remember
Hewitt Huntworth.
Yeah.
And Owen and Ellen Schmidt was always a regular.
Yeah. Ellen.
And the fella Peter, who played piano.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's just so many. I can't even. I don't know. Let's just stand here and go, yeah.
I don't remember who was that. What was that guy's name?
Yeah, what was that guy? The guy who Terrence Haggerty.
Oh, Terrence Haggerty. Wait, no. Terrence Haggerty.
Terrence.
Is
Not
it Terrence?
Terrence.
No, not Terrence Haggerty. Terrence Haggerty is a singer-songwriter who's wonderful, who actually passed away a few years ago. There's another guy, Terrence. I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Some guy named Terrence.
Hey,
he's fucking great.
That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna sit here and go, remember that guy?
Hey, Tony Toledo's saying hi.
Hi, Tony.
Tony, what's happening? Speaking of great hosts.
Yeah. Oh God, Tony's the best. I have so many rare coins that Tony has given me over the years after performances, and then he makes up a story about like, this was Janis Joplin gave me this back at, like, he just makes that. He'll make like this tale of how he got the coin.
What if he didn't make it up? What if right now he's like, what are you fucking talking about?
Those are true stories. What do you mean?
Yeah, what are you talking about? So I was going to ask you earlier, do you remember, it might have been the last time we were ever invited to play Campfire. But do you remember when, I'm just kidding around, I'm half kidding, when Matt asked us, you, myself, I think Teresa Storch, they asked us to do Campfire Monday noon.
Oh yeah.
And it was like a Memorial Day Monday. And now, for those of you who don't know, Danielle and I, another place we courted was at the Burn on Sunday nights, because Danielle ran the singer-songwriter series there, and I just knew where to find her every single Sunday night. And I would play the Subway all day, and I would come by the Burn with my bass and my little Subway amplifier and the mic stand bungeed to my back, and I'd come in late night and I'd play some songs, and that's where we really started hanging out and getting to know each other over the years. And Sunday nights became a crazy party night at the Burn, because Memorial Day Monday everybody had off, and we had with Hugh McGowan working, and we had one of those nights where, we played the Campfire Monday morning at noon. We probably drank till about 7 o'clock in the morning. We probably drank until like almost dawn, and then we went and played the Club Passim songwriter in the round folk show over like coffee and biscuits, and like I don't think we ever took our sunglasses off. we're like and I'm gonna play this one, the guitar will go, here we go. You're gonna make me lonesome when you. We were so hungover, and Matt just got the best kick out of it. Just got the best kick out of it.
Yeah.
You know what's happening, Danielle?
What?
I think questions are popping up that I think might have been like asked a while ago, and they're just jumping in the feed now. I'm not quite sure, but Darren Buck asked who was in the band at our wedding.
Oh,
And hi, Darren Buck. Love you, man.
hi, Darren.
Thanks to Darren, I can do things like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he helped
Oh, wait,
me.
no, I have to
He
find this
made
way,
all
right?
these.
How do I put
He
it?
he redesigned all these graphics for me. You know, sorry I covered you, Danielle.
It's a fly in here. It's a weirdly shaped fly.
Yeah.
Um, that was good. That was actually perfect. That's perfect timing. Who was in our wedding band? Alan Goodrich.
Alan,
Yep. Doran.
Doran,
Who played?
and John, the bass player. I don't know the bass player. His name's
Yeah.
John.
The Alligators.
The Alligators, Darren, the drummer that plays with
Alan
us
and the
on Thursday
Alligators.
nights, or he
Yeah.
used to. He hasn't in some months, but yeah, the Alligators was our wedding band, and it was perfect because we all got up and played songs at the end. There's pictures of Danielle in her wedding dress playing the song "Kiss," right? Playing
Yeah.
guitar, just rocking out in a wedding dress. Fucking awesome. It was really a great time.
That was
I don't
fun.
know if John Cleary is still watching, but John Cleary, his family were at our wedding, as were his mom and dad. His dad's Jack Cleary passed away just a few years ago. We love Jack Cleary, and Nancy Cleary. Jack and Nancy were two of the nicest people I ever met, and they made John Cleary, who was one of my best friends ever. And at the end of the wedding, it was 10 o'clock, and the room had to turn over, and we had to leave because there was like a DJ coming in. It was down in Boston. And Mrs. Cleary, who was a kindergarten teacher, retired, was sitting in the corner yelling, "Fuck the DJ."
Oh, because they were gonna come in with the DJ.
The DJ was coming in, and we had to stop playing. You're rocking out, we're rocking out, and Nancy Cleary's like, "Fuck the DJ." Yeah, true story. Alki's asked us a couple questions. She asked us when the Burn's open, and she also asked if you ever played Johnny D's. The Burn opened about 24, 25 years ago. It's almost 24. I think it's almost 25 years old.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is they are surviving during COVID. The sad thing is if this is the 25th anniversary, which it might be 24, but either way, we usually get together in January and have a few pints and celebrate the Burn. And we might still be quarantined this year, which is going to suck. But the good news is the Burn is still serving food, pouring drinks, and they're squeaking by, and people are working, and that's great. I stop in there. In a place where I never have to pay for food, I stop in there and get a hamburger and pay for it every week or so just to support the cause, because we all love the Burn. But if you want to answer that question about Johnny D's,
I did. I've played there a few times over the years. Yeah, it's weird because that was one of those places too that also had it was like not coveted, but it was like a goal place to play at one point, because I remember going to the blues jam when I was a teenager, just going there.
Now was that
my mom? I think.
I know Timmy Guerin used to run the blues jam. Was it him back then, or was it somebody else?
It could have been. I didn't know him back then. I didn't even know. For all I know, I saw him there at the time. I probably would have remembered if I saw him there, but I don't remember who was running it at the time. I just remember going there when I was a kid. I couldn't go and play. I wasn't ready for that at that time. I just went and watched. But so I just remember it was when I first got to play, it was wow, I'm playing Johnny D's. It was a goal,
Yeah. What was the first gig you had there? Actual gig?
My first gig at Johnny D's? Yeah. It might have been it probably was, it was either a chick singer night like the first chick singer night I ever did,
Oh wow.
or one of the like the homeless benefits that Morgan Hughes used to put on over there. It was one of
Oh
it was
yeah.
one of those, yeah. But it might have been the chick singer night. Yeah. In fact, somebody posted a picture from that chick singer night like recently that was, I couldn't believe how long ago it was.
Mm.
like I
And
was
you
like,
look the
oh,
same, and that's
oh
fucked
yeah,
up.
please. No.
Come on.
All right, what else?
I don't know if I can call it. Is that
Yeah,
enough?
I'm in my bed. I'm just gonna go. I'll see you in a while.
Hush,
Tell me to take
little
it out.
baby, don't say a word. Papa's gonna buy you a Mockingbird. Anything else you want to talk about? The record's coming out.
Record is out. Record's already out. It came out
Record's
Friday.
out.
You can link to all the things, all the places where you can get it on the website. The website is daniellem.com.
What, you got a lot of reviews. What's the one that's like translated weird?
Oh, there, there was one from, wait, what was the one? The one from, it was a Paris paper. It was a French paper, and Google translated it as saying Danielle has been petrifying the Boston music scene for the last 20
Right.
years.
Right. And perfect for Halloween.
Been petrifying.
Danielle Morales. Oh, petrifying. Your mom's watching.
I know. She's the only one whose comments I'm seeing on the side. For some reason,
Yeah, I
hers
don't
is
know.
coming up. I don't know if she's watching
know.
from commenting from a different place.
Yeah, actually, Mom, what source are you watching this thing on? Just out of curiosity, because I don't know how or where or why it's showing up. I only see some comments being. Facebook's being. I think we caught Facebook in a weird thing.
I think it's confused. It's like, what are these people doing? They're in the same house.
Yeah. Why is this happening? Jeff Gainer's watching. Jeff Gainer gave us a bunch of
Jeff
hearts.
Gainer? Ah. So all right, so we have a nice crew here. Do we keep talking, or do we quit while we're ahead, or let it dwindle? Or do we do like do you want to just come in here and we'll watch a movie on here?
Yeah. Can you hit pause? I have to take a leak.
Yeah, take the ice cream out. We gotta take the ice cream out so it's soft. 10 minutes. Set the clock.
I think,
set the timer.
considering we've been attached at the hip since March 14th, I think we did pretty good pretending like we had some shit to talk about.
And now my mother's she's just commenting about like Hulu recommendations I sent her yesterday. Shrill is good.
Now I can send her the link. You want me to send her the link? Get her in on the conversation?
Yeah, we'll just have a family conversation there. We'll just any other TV recommendations? Yeah, I think we did all right. I think that wasn't bad considering. Yeah. I mean, we haven't had we've not had a performative conversation in a while. Oh, look. Who's this guy?
Oh, hey.
Hey. I'm getting a total echo now.
Oh, we're getting the weird. This is actually when we talk, we always have this echo. It's totally weird, man. Cool.
Are they hearing the echo or just me?
I don't know.
Yeah. Can't do that with other guests.
No, can't do that with most guests.
And I was the second choice.
Only today.
I'm your Al Roker. And only people who watch Conan will get that joke.
Where'd you go?
Wait, I had to close the door.
Oh.
I'm the Al Roker of live stream of consciousness. I'll be your backup. Yes.
Sounds good. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you. In all sincerity, thank you, because I really was just gonna wimp out and just be like, "Oh, I'm just not gonna do it." Blah 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 blah. And you're like, "Come on!" You were like, "Keep it going." So thank you.
I love it. I love this show. I like watching it. I sit in here and watch the show.
That's
Because
nice
you've
of you to
awesome
say.
guests on. You've had
Not because
amazing guests, and you're
you're not watching it because you're forced to watch it. You're watching it because you
No.
want to.
No, I really enjoy it. I'm not forced to watch it. I could just be like, yeah, it sounds good, and then like go on to do something. Like I really do. I enjoy, like, I don't know, every guest you've had has like something that's like beautifully quotable. Like Will Daly said something really good last week. I can't remember right now, but it was really good. He said a lot of good things. He said like a lot of like really meaningful things that stuck with me. Brian O'Donovan, I could just listen to him talk like forever.
Yeah.
He's such a calming. He's just such a calming force. Something about his presence and the way he talks and like the thing he said that I thought was so beautiful. Now we're doing a recap. We're doing a live stream of consciousness recap. Roll the clip. Roll the clip. No, he said, he was like, and I'm not going to try to do Brian's accent because that would be an insult, and I'll do it terribly. If I could do it well, I would do it. But he said,
I can do Brian's accent as long as he's just as long as I do him doing his show. I'm not going to do it though.
Yeah. So, but he said something about how he said, because you guys were talking about the music scene and how, you know, will it continue and when will it continue and that kind of thing. Will it be the same? You're just talking about the whole all this shit that's going on. And he said, well, in theaters there's a ritual where they leave the light on the stage. And he said, yeah, sure, it's part of it is so like the cleaning crew doesn't trip over themselves trying to clean up, but it's also, it doesn't go out.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
idea is that the stage never goes dark. And he said,
Right.
and I'd like to think that light is in our hearts right now.
Yeah.
And it was like, I like choked up when he said that. I was like, oh, yeah.
I'm Brian O'Donovan of a WGBH. I'd like to think that light is always on in our hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was gorgeous. Yeah.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was such
And
a
the
nice-
Will Daly one was really good. Will
Oh, yeah, he had.
I walked away thinking, and it made me, the Will Daly one really made me think. Well, this one's great. This one's great too. It's my favorite. It's my favorite, babe. I swear.
Oh,
It's my
your favorite? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Yeah. I mean, by default, you have to say that, but. Oh,
I don't
Darren
have a
Buck
guest. I don't know. I'm asking him publicly right now. I don't have a guest next week. I don't have a guest next week. I have a guest on November 2nd. Rebecca Loby is going to be our guest. And I have a guest on November 9th, which is Pamela Means. And then on November 10th, I believe I'm going to do a very special edition of Live Stream of Consciousness. And it's going to be a live broadcast of, again, a family member, my mom and I, and she's going to talk me through how to make the Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, so that's going to happen November 10th. November 2nd, Rebecca Loby.
That's a valuable family secret.
Yeah,
that everyone's going to be in on. This is, you should
a lot
tune
of
in.
people don't. A lot of people don't. They won't share that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna make my mom share. Gonna make her do it. You know.
Yeah.
So that's what's coming up on Live Stream of Consciousness.
Did Darren Buck say yes?
I don't know. Not yet.
Yes,
he just said he said the ghost light. So he is watching.
He's watching.
I don't know if he's still there. It's a minute ago. It takes a minute or two for the comments to come up. Now we're really putting them on the spot. You know, Tony Toledo.
Get down on one knee.
let me tell you, Tony Toledo. Some of these comments, I don't know if they're coming in proper time because this might be from a while ago. Tony Toledo said, Danielle, I will always be grateful to you featured at Speak Up Spoken Word Open Mic in Lynn for a beer and pass the hat. You know.
Yeah. That was.
Darren Buck said yes, and Brooke said she'd do it too. So shit, yeah.
You should have Brooke on.
I should have Brooke on. I guess it would be weird to be like, sorry, Darren, Brooke's doing it. Maybe we can all get together. But yeah, no, if Darren can really do it, we'll do it next week. And then I'd love to have Brooke on at some point. Brooke
Oh,
is
Brooke
one
would
of
be
my favorite
amazing, Jeff.
people in all the planet.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and always up for the job, always up for the party, always up to pull the gig off. When I used to do the Lizard Lounge open mic challenge, she would often be a judge. She would be like, "Are you kidding me? Hang out, listen to music, and you know, and you know, have a little food and a couple drinks and listen to music. I'll do that, you know." So yeah,
Yeah.
hats off. Yeah, I think Darren's good. Right, let's call this thing. Let's normally right now what I would do is I would say, Danielle, you're gonna go dark for a second, but stay on the line, and then we can say a proper goodbye.
Yeah.
And then I shut the show off, and then I stay on the line with my guest and talk for another minute or two, and be like, "Hey, that went well," but all I have to do is like go in the other room.
Yeah, let's take a walk.
Yeah, let's take a Thanks for bailing me out, babe.
Hey, anytime. I'm your Al
Thanks
Roker
for keeping
forever.
the live stream. Danielle is the inspiration behind the show because she's a huge fan of podcasts, and I told her I wanted to do one, and she was like, "You should. You would be very good at it," and I
Yeah.
appreciate. In all sincerity, is kind of weird now because we got some friends watching. It's like you and I, it's kind of silly, but in all sincerity, thank you for all the support over the years and all the encouragement. And I only hope that I gave you some of the same because you are a more inspirational, uplifting, and motivating person than I am. I am just dark and gloomy and bitchy and whiny all the fucking time. And you're just like, it's going to be okay, man. You know, so thank you for putting up with me. Thank
I feel
you
like
for
it's
putting
the other
up
way
with me.
around. I feel like it's the other way around.
Nah,
Like you're always like supporting me and cheerleading for me and saying nice things, and I do.
Hey, we're a good couple.
And that I'm the bummer. I feel like I'm the bummer.
Brooke said, "I just come here for the ego stroking." Brooke, you're the one that keeps us going. You.
All right. Are we just grossing people out with our love now? And should we?
What's that?
Are we just grossing people out with all this love?
Probably.
Like, get a room, guys.
The dude that was asking for advice earlier on how to get a girlfriend's probably like, "Yeah, I'm good."
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
I think I'm just gonna stay single. Stay single.
This may become. All right.
Ladies and
I'll see you in
gentlemen,
a little while.
I'm gonna gray you out. Yeah.
All right. Love you. I'll see you later.
Ladies and gentlemen, the brand new record is called Bright Shining Stars, and you can get it at daniellem.com. I'm sure you can get it on all those service places too, the iTunes and all those things. But you can get it if you want your hard copy of the record. You can get it at daniellem.com. She's got a few T-shirts left, brand new T-shirts, but she did them for pre-orders, so most of them are gone. They're gone with the pre-orders, but there is a few sizes left. I got one, but you can't have that one. That one is mine, all nine. If you want to take guitar lessons with Danielle Moralia, she actually, during COVID, has been giving Zoom lessons during the day because she's not touring, she's not playing live, and musicians got to eat. So you can sign up, and if you want to play guitar like Danielle, all you have to do is take a lesson, but then you got to play every day because let me tell you something. I wake up almost every day to the sound of a little bit of guitar going on in the other room. This woman plays and plays and plays, and she is wonderful because of that, musically and, of course, personally, just because she's fucking awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our show. Like I mentioned, I think Darren Buck is going to be our guest next week, and then the week after that is going to be singer-songwriter Rebecca Loby from Austin, Texas, and then the week after that will be Pamela Means, singer-songwriter from Western Massachusetts. And thank you so much for tuning into this Monday evening live stream of consciousness broadcast. My name is Tom Bianchi. It's 24-hour Concerts presents anything I do because that's what I do. I'll talk to you later. I'm going to hit the old button where the show is over, and then I'm going to jump and freeze, and then I'm going to realize the computer asked me, like, "Are you sure you want to finish?" I'm like, "God damn it, you're ruining my production quality and the impact moment." So I'm going to do that and this and that and that. Ladies and gentlemen, jump free. See you later.